is Shirley from NYC Guitar School. Thanks for tuning in. Thank you for voting in that poll. I know you guys wanted to do Sk8er Boi by Avril Lavigne. It's a timeless anthem about being superficial, so let's go over it. Now, I want to start by telling you guys a little bit about the parts we're going to be doing. We have 5 parts that we're going to be doing. 2 of them are really short, and these are the parts that you guys can put together for the song. Some of the techniques that we're going to be going over are hammer-ons, pull-offs, and palm muting. If you guys are familiar with power chords, that would be helpful. If not, I'm going to go over them in a little bit. So let's start by taking a look at the first riff. So you guys know the part, beginning. I'm going to play it for you right now. So. Sound familiar? That is the intro to the song. So what we're doing with a pull-off and a hammer-on is, I'm going to start with the hammer-on. We start with our first finger. It's not always your first finger, but in this song it is. So our first finger is going to go on the 5th fret, 2nd string. So here I am, nice and close to the fret right here, so I get a nice clear sound. Now I'm going to play this note first, then I'm going to take my ring finger and I'm going to pivot on, I'm going to smack it down or hammer it on to the 7th fret, 2nd string. So let's take a look and see what that sounds like and looks like. Did you see that? I'm going to do it in slow motion. Probably won't sound as good, but I'm going to try it anyhow. Alright, so when you're hammering on, you're really making the sound with that 2nd note. There's no plucking with that 2nd note. That's all in your ring finger. When you start doing this, if you haven't done this before, aiming might be a little bit tricky, but you're going to nail it over time. So keep practicing it. Start slow as you build up accuracy. You can focus on really getting a nice hard pivot. Cool. Now let's take a look at the pull-off. The pull-off is kind of the opposite. So instead of hammering on, what I'm doing is I'm actually going to pluck with this 2nd note that I have. So I'm not going to be picking that part, I'm just plucking it right off. Alright, now I want you to think of it as if you had your pick over here, you were plucking off. But instead of using our pick, we're going to use our ring finger. Okay, it's going to make this first note sound, so make sure you got this finger here, again on the 5th fret, 2nd string. Okay, so let's put those together. Alright, we hear a little bit of that riff. Cool. Now there's one more part here, there's a bend. So with a bend, what we're doing is we're taking a note, and we're going to pull down on the string after we've played it. So I'm going to do that one time. What it does is it changes the sound of that note. Makes it a little bit higher. So we want to bend just a little bit to get this kind of sound. Okay? So I'm going to put together those techniques we just went over. Let's try it. Alright, let's try that again. I'm going to emphasize the bends a little bit more. So we're going to play this first part 3 times, and then the last part I'm going to talk about in a little bit. Okay, cool. Now with this last part, what we're doing is after we've hammered on and pulled off, and after we've done that little bend, we're going to take our ring finger, we're going to bring it up to the 3rd string right up here. And we're gonna just pluck that one. No hammer-ons or pull-offs there. Just playing it. Cool. So that is riff 1. Let's play that one more time, just so we can really have that down. Cool. All right. Now let's move on to our chords. So we have power chords here. They are D5, A5, B5, B flat 5, C5, so, and F5. It sounds like a lot, sounds crazy, but they're all the same shape. Let's take a look at our D5 chord. So we want to put our pointer finger on the 5th fret, 5th string, right over here. This is our D note. We're going to take our ring finger, we're going to put that on the 7th fret, 4th string. Now we can stop here, we can just make this our D5 chord. We're going to play these 2 strings. We can lock our wrist, make sure we're not going full open chord mode. We're just going to lock our wrist, lock our forearm, so we can just get those 2 strings. But if you want to go a little further, you can add your pinky right over here onto the 3rd string, 7th fret. Now we're going to play 3 strings. So this is our D5 chord right over here. So let's take a look at this shape. We're going to be using this shape for a lot of our chords. Now let's take a look at the A5 power chord. So again, still a power chord. The shape's going to look a little bit different. So here's my A note. I'm going to put my first finger on the 5th string, 2nd fret. Again, you could totally stop here. This is an A5. But if you want to take it further, make it sound a little bit fuller, you can add your middle finger to the 4th string, 2nd fret. So this is kind of like an E minor shape, if you're familiar with the E minor. We're going to be playing 3 strings here. Actually, I'm sorry, that was a mistake. Scratch that A5. I actually played E5, so I apologize. I'm going to show you the A5 now. That was a silly mistake to make. So we're actually going to take this shape, our E minor shape that we just made, we're going to bring it down 1 string. So again, if you're playing the 2-string version, it's the 5th and the 4th strings. If you're doing the fuller 3-string version, you're playing the 5th, 4th, and 3rd strings. These are A5. Scratch that E5 out of your memory. Cool. Let's take a look at the B5. So the B5 is the same shape as our D5. So remember, our D5 is over here, right, on the 5th fret. Now we're going to slide that back to the 2nd fret. So our pointer finger is going on the 2nd fret, 5th string. Our ring finger, our 3rd finger, is going on the 4th fret, 4th string. Our pinky is going on the 4th fret, 3rd string. So here I have my shape. Again, 2 strings or 3 strings. And our next chord is our B flat 5. So for B flat 5, I want you to keep this B5 in the back of your head. When we have it on the fretboard, you can just slide it back 1 fret. And that's it. B flat 5. Now C5. We're going to take this same shape. You're going to put your pointer finger at the 3rd fret, and your ring finger and your pinky are going to go on the 5th fret on the 4th and 3rd string. Same shape we've been doing. Okay, and I think the last chord, our last chord is F5. So we're going to take this same shape and take our pointer finger, put it on the 6th string, 1st fret. Ring finger is going to go on the 5th string, 3rd fret. Pinky is going to go on the 4th string, 3rd fret. Cool, and that is our F5. Now let's talk a little bit about palm muting. So for our verse, the verse of the song, we're going to be doing some palm muting. Palm muting is a super punk rock technique where we make a chord. I'm going to make my D5 chord. And instead of letting it ring out like this, we're going to actually take our palm. We're going to find the saddle on our guitar. So for me, it's right here. And instead of putting my palm right on the saddle or right in front on the strings, I'm going to put it a little ahead of my saddle. So that gives me a nice palm muted sound. If I put it too far ahead, it doesn't sound so great. If I put it too far back, it's just open. So let's try doing the D5. Now each bar in this song has 8th notes, 8 8th notes, and I'm going to show you what that sounds like. So I'm going to be playing 8th notes. The way I count 8th notes is 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Those ands give me 8 notes total in a bar. So let's try that D5. So let's try our palm muting. So I'm going to count to 4, we're going to do it. Are you ready? Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Do you get that? Cool. Now let's take a look at the whole verse. I'm going to tell you guys the chords that are in the whole verse. We've got D5, A5, sorry I'm looking at my chart. D5 for the first bar, A5 the second bar, third bar is B5, fourth bar is B flat 5. Now in the second line, we're going to do D5, A5, B5, and then C5. So I'm going to show you guys what that sounds like, okay? So let's try it from the very top. I'm going to play the first half of the verse. That's it. So that is the first half of the verse. We play that 2 times for the whole verse. So when you're practicing that at home, playing along with the song, I want you to play that 2 times. So let's try playing the whole verse. Are you guys ready? I'm going to count to 4. I'm going to do it a little slower this time. I'm going to try and make sure that the edge of my palm is right ahead of the saddle so I can get that nice clean mute. Alright, let's try it. I'm going to count to 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we've covered the first 2 parts, riff 1 and the verse. The verse repeats throughout the song. Every time you hear the verse, just remember that it's palm muted. Okay, let's take a look at the chorus. So the chorus, same pattern, we've got the same 8th notes. So it sounds like 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and same rhythm. What changes in the chorus is we're not palm muting. And our chords change a little bit. So let's take a look at the chorus. You could, if you want to, play up and down, or you can keep that same just downstrokes. I'm going to make a comment that I didn't make earlier. When you're palm muting, you want to do downstrokes. But when we're not palm muting, we are free to do this. It could be tricky with a power chord, but you can try and lock that wrist. Lock your forearm. If it's too loose, we're going to get too many strings. So let's try doing that. So let's take a look at the chorus. So we've got F5, C5, B flat 5, and A5. Those are the first 4 bars. And we're going to repeat that line 3 times. So let's try it. So that was the chorus. Now with the first chorus, what we do is we actually play that line 2 times, and then we do F5 for 2 bars. So I'm going to try showing you that chorus first. Let's try this again. I'm going to count to 4. If you want to play along, I'm going to repeat the chords again. So it's F5 the first bar, C5 the second bar, B flat 5 the third bar, A5 the fourth bar. Then we're going to repeat that line. That's our second line. And then the third line we do F5, 2 bars of F5. Let's try that. I'm going to count to 4. Let's make it happen. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's it. So I'm going to reiterate, we are not palm muting the chorus. Cool. Alright, so that's our chorus. Now let's take a look at another part of the song, Riff 2. So Riff 2 is really similar to Riff 1. We're using some of the same techniques. We're using hammer-ons, pull-offs, and bends. So instead of starting up here at 5 and 7, we're going to bring our first finger down to the 8th fret, down here. We're going to be hammering onto the 10th fret. So I'm just going to play that for you guys. Now, instead of doing this kind of pattern that we did earlier, at the end, we're only going to play that 3 times. So I'm going to show you guys what that sounds like. That's it. Now, instead of climbing up like we did for the last bar of the first riff, what we're going to do is we're going to actually play our D flat 5 chord. So this is another chord that we haven't gone over. I think this is the only time in the song that we play it. So we're going to take our power chord shape, starting at the 4th fret, 5th string. So since my D5 is here, to make it flat, just move it back 1 fret. So this is my D flat 5. We're going to play this 4 times. Okay? Now I'm going to play that whole riff for you guys. So remember, we're going to play this first part 3 times. Then for our last bar, we're going to play this 4 times. Okay? So let's play that slowly. Alright, so we're going to actually do that whole thing that I just did 2 times, and that is Riff 2. Alright, so we just finished up Riff 2, so that was the 4th section that we were going over. So we have 1 section to go, that's the interlude. So let's take a look at the interlude. Interlude, we're using D5, F5, C5, B flat 5, and A5. So, same rhythm that we've been doing. This is not going to be palm muted. So let's take a look. Again, we're going to be doing those 8th notes. So I'm going to play that through really slowly. So here's my D5, here's my F5, here's my C5, my B flat 5, and my A5. So let's try that. I'm going to count to 4, I'm going to play it through, okay? I'm going to play it slowly. 1, 2, 3, 4. We play that 2 times. So those are all the parts of the song. If you guys listen to the song, you can hear the verse, the chorus. The interlude is toward the end. That's where she starts talking about her boy and that they're more than just good friends. This is how the story ends. If you want a cue, and that's it. So thank you so much for joining us for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it was informative. Again, I'm Shirley from NYC Guitar School.